Welcome to the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Now, I haven't actually played the original, but I have seen a lot of videos about it, you know, back in the day, a lot of playthroughs. So I'm gonna say no because I haven't played it myself. It's gonna be darker for you, so a little more. There you go. The current time is, yeah. Is it 12 p.m. though? I'm so confused about AM and PM. I think it's PM. Yeah. AM is midnight, right? I think so. Right. Let's see. Lower the volume a bit. We want the narrator to be pretty loud, but not super loud.
This is the story.
Lower the music. Yeah. No. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I haven't played the first one. I saw a lot of videos about it. But it was so long ago, so I don't know. Maybe I remember some things you can do. We'll find out. Shortly.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, so first run, we will do as he says.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. We'll be obedient for now. Not for long.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header and throw some bevel on the text. Everyone's unique. You, most of all. Up or
Coming
down?
to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh. Okay. We're here.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
I wasn't paying attention.
Stanley just sat around twiddling
Yeah.
his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
There we go.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped
there it
into
is.
the newly opened passageway.
It's very dark.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yep. Do I press the button?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I don't know. I think so. Button? Button.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Show me the videos, Ian. Yeah, that's it. It's right there. It's our office.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions
Yes.
had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Mm-hmm.
No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control?
Never.
It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
It's very hard to resist pushing all the buttons, but I won't. Yet.
blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
1 second. I will
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
just max him out. Right, out we go.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Yeah, it's the first time. Okay, now we've done what he said. Now what do we do?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Wasn't there something with the broom closet? Are you sure?
When Stanley came
I
to
know.
the set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
It's the first time I'm playing it myself, but I've seen
Yet
other
there was
people
not
play
a
it.
single person here either.
Um,
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
I saw other people play it back in the day, when the original game. I'm going in the broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
No.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Sweet FA.
Are you really still in the broom
Oh,
closet?
nice.
Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Yeah, I've just been playing for like 10 minutes now. So,
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
isn't there a window you can like go out of in the office somewhere as well?
Maybe to
I
you
think.
this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
I'm staying in the broom closet.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed in front of your screen. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
I don't know about that. What's your biggest problem with it? No. Yeah. Yeah, I wish there was a crosshair. That would be nice. So you know where you're looking at. Okay, I think he's done. Oh, I see.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you.
Are you sure about that? Yeah, it's a little not great. I'm going downstairs.
To a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No, I'm not. And yet you played all of it. I can't do it.
He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
Maybe.
All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Just a floating
doors
camera.
close automatically behind him wherever he went.
That is weird.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
That's also weird.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Oh, she is? That's interesting. Well, okay. Next one.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
We're gonna take the right door now.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Okay. It is that window. I see.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No. Unless. No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten. What? Really?
Yes.
I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others?
Yeah.
Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Okay. Fine.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Oh. This is the new game section, or what is it?
What are we looking for?
No? Are we in space? Oh.
Here. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy. No, wait. Where are you going?
I'm leaving.
Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you
No.
hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley. No! Oh, thank God. You live. No. No, what
Oh.
are you doing, Stanley?
Again.
Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this? Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me? My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly? Or maybe you're just
again.
getting a kick out of it.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
I like that you get slower each time. Really.
Is it over?
Yes.
It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Okay. Chair time.
All of his co-workers were gone.
This one?
What could it mean?
This one.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh, oh. Oh, we're doing it. Eh. I got it.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map. until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along.
Yeah.
He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just restart the game any other time you want.
No.
Like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
Okay. A long time.
There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. You too will become quite unbearable.
Thank you. How long are we gonna stand here? I can stand here forever. That's fine. Oh? Something's happened. Is that it? Okay. Fine. We're gonna go choose no. Oh, no we're not.
All of his co-workers had gone. What could it mean?
Where are
Stanley
we?
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Where are we? This is not right.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Few hours? Well, that would be a very boring stream. Don't you think? Isn't there an achievement for not playing for like 10 years? Or something in this one?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yeah,
Wow.
employee lounge.
Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yes, I will.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
No. I'm going down here now.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office.
I don't.
He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Right. I mean,
Oh, no,
well,
it's
that
to the
was
right, my mistake.
not playing in 10 years. You just have to remember to launch the game in 10 years. And there you go.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
I like the game a lot. I'll play it again. Horizon Zero Dawn, I've played it like 3 times.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about,
Yeah.
rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Is the office normal now? Okay. I'm going out the window again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to
That
go
should be
to the
this one.
meeting room.
This one.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Get up there. Get up there. Did I do it the first time? Luck. Right. Can I not do this anymore? It's rude. Turn it off. Can I turn them on? No. Fine. I'm going. Now where to? Which room? That's the first office. Which is the big room? Horizon Zero Dawn. Um, long. It's open world. So Let's say. The story is like 30 hours, I think. The main story, but I always do like everything. So. Oh, this is new.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, no, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Options. I'm doing this one. This door.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over
Oh, we're
and
back.
over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not? All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Is it actually reset now? Or no? It's not.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Okay.
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The
It's a loop.
story. Here it comes.
It's a
No,
loop.
wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps. Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Yay!
Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no.
No.
I don't feel right about this.
I didn't win.
We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win.
I sure did.
Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line.
Oh.
Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Okay. Nothing back there. Just checking. Just checking.
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction.
Yeah.
Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though,
See.
here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there?
Yeah.
Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Okay. Oh, adventure music. Right.
Wait, cut the music.
Oh?
Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story.
Okay.
Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Okay. I stare at it. Okay. I got it.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Oh?
No, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And
Ah.
after we trusted you, after everything we've been through...
Oh?
Oh, I can't
Nice.
take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
I got the line ending. Wait, no, we're not there yet. We're getting there.
You know what, Stanley?
Oh?
I say forget the adventure
Okay.
line. What's it ever done for us?
Nothing.
We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in,
Oh?
well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Okay. Let's wander. It's what I do best.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me
Ah.
and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be?
It's
Go
a loop.
wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Okay.
Oh, no, not you
Oh,
again.
it's a line.
Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
I don't see a line. There's no line anywhere.
Ah, a choice.
Ah.
We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control.
Okay.
How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
Okay.
Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since
We
the
don't know.
answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Confusion ending.
Hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped?
Oh.
Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Oh. Here we are
all of his
again.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either.
Nope, no
Feeling
people.
a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase,
Okay.
Stanley walked upstairs to his
Are we
boss's
just
office.
back on track now? I open this door. The bathroom. Okay, fine. Oh. Elevator? Oh, I'm going this way now. That's what I'm doing. This is a very tall elevator shaft. Let's go down again. Wait, what? No? Okay, fine.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
I don't remember.
What could it
The code
mean?
was.
Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Guess we'll deviate. Right before the thing. Or wait. Hang on. Can we go back up? We can. Back up.
Whoops. Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well,
No.
that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
Oh, I can't go back down.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator.
Okay.
It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated.
For sure.
It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have. An incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow. I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Can I go down now? Yeah, go back down. Back down.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this? Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No.
Certainly not.
It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
The boss's office?
God, it's the boss's office.
Oh my god.
This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this.
No, someone brought out their motorcycle. I don't know if you can hear that.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace
Okay.
this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No, wait.
What?
No, I need more time to process.
Okay. I can wait. It's fine. Oh,
All right. I
Okay.
have fully come to terms with it.
okay.
I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
Again.
Of course. Going back down in the elevator.
Of
How
course.
could I not anticipated? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
Hey, hang on. Yeah, go up again. Do it again. I'm not going into the spooky hallway.
You know what? I've just thought of something.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley.
Is
You
it?
and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator.
Well,
But
it
the
couldn't be the boss's
suspense,
office.
the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow? There we go.
There we go.
Isn't this
Perfect.
so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises, to have to think and to anticipate and then to marvel at the eventual reveal? This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years, and it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over.
You're
Truly,
welcome.
I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley.
Oh.
Because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model.
Well, thank you.
People look up to you. Which is why, oh, I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you.
Oh.
So that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh, good, we're here.
Okay. Are you ready for this?
Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
Stanley. Look at him. Oh, look how shiny the posters are. They're so shiny. Reflective, even. An evening with world peace, baby.
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door.
Yeah, hang on. I want to look at all the things.
All right, are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry. You'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley. Okay, it looks like they're ready for you. Go get 'em.
Okay, here we go. Press conference. Ah! Whoa. I'm so famous. Is that it? Did we do it? The phone's ringing. Hello?
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans, which
Can go out the window again. Yeah, let's do it.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map.
I'm gonna say
until he
no
heard this
this time.
narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be?
Totally.
Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you
I'm not.
think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
No.
Ah, then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different?
I already did that.
Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time.
It does.
What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one.
Exactly.
So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other options so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Sit here forever? That's fine with me. Can I hit no again? No, I cannot. Again.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
Well. Turn these off. What? 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 Let me up there. Let me up. Let me up. Turn them off. All of them. Are there any ones on in here? Yes. Is this worth my time? No. No, it's not. There we go. They're off. It's the new content door.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
You're welcome.
As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful.
No.
I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Oh, hang on. Hang on.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if them... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Gimme the content, Stanley.
Man. Why can't I type on my phone right now? Hello? Thank you. Okay. It's behind me. It's behind me.
All right.
Jump circle.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Can I jump elsewhere? No? I have to jump in here? Okay. Yay, jumping! Yay! We did it.
Is that it?
Yep.
Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
I'm sure there's something else. And we go.
Goodness. Another elevator.
Mhm.
Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content?
Yes,
If this is
that
new
is.
content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there.
Yeah?
I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait.
Huh?
There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I
Oh,
built up too much anticipation around the new content. I'm
terrible.
afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Well, that's not right.
Stanley, come
But,
over here.
but what
In
if,
the
what,
vent.
but what if I
want
go
to
over
show
there?
you something.
What if I go over there, though? Okay, next time. Well, another time. I'll go that way.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Okay, what we got?
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Can I look at things? Why does that sound like a keyboard? Ah, I got an achievement. It sounds like I'm typing on the keyboard, though. Can I open this? Open the door. Open the door. The original. Damn. Firefox. That's old stuff. Wow. Money? Can I take the money? No. What's that? Nothing. It is impossible to get this achievement. Okay. What's that one? Don't play for 5 years? Yeah. Oh. Sure. A video game releasing today. Stanley Parable. These tough choices. Can I go to this bench? I want to go to the bench. Dang you. Damn you.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was.
Yeah.
It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Okay, we cannot go in there right now. Doors? This. I don't know.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content.
But here we
All
are.
they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
No, I can't resist it. We go back? That way? No, I guess. Maybe. The serious room. We go back?
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again.
Oh, maintenance store.
Wait, hang on. I don't
very
recall
dark.
this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Oh.
Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years.
It's
I
got
can't
it.
imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Pressurized gas. Steam. It took a second. Okay, I got it. It's funny.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Pressurized, yes. Uh, it's not that funny, but it is that funny. I could read all these. Oh, it's no one.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh, dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Oh, it is though. Oh, that one.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
Rude.
A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive
Oh, wait.
reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of... Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button.
Ah, the skip button.
I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their pressurized gas review, or at least change some of the wording patterns. To be honest, Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about, I know. Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing.
Yeah.
Would you think that it's exactly the same as all?
My way.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome.
Thank you.
I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me
No.
describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret.
And then?
There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all.
Quiet. Was a fire alarm? Push the
But they
button.
didn't understand
Oh.
the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, "End."
Nothing? Oh, the watch? The clock fell down.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Nothing new? It's very dark in here. Ah. That's not good. Light. Press it. Oh, green. Pretty. Oh, not green anyway. That's not a good noise. It's a bad noise. Oh, it fell over. I know. Can I leave? I'm leaving. There's something out here? Somewhere? I don't see anything out here. Oh. We're back. Did I push the buttons? No.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it.
Oh?
If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
Oh.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign.
I did.
Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Okay. Go. Elevator?
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable
Okay.
and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned
Yes,
out to be.
it's the worst.
The original Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step
Oh?
even further. Which is why
Where am I?
I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
2 4 2 7. Oh.
Yes, you see,
And
isn't
then
this
it's never
far
at the end.
superior to a
Again.
measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think?
Sure.
Ultra Deluxe?
Sure.
What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
What's TSP? Sequential mindshare. Paradigm shift. Brick and mortar approach. The color red. Yes, I can see that. We have logo ideas. Oh, they're making fun of other games using red to accentuate a sequel. It's number 2.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Prequel. Oh. New features. Get on the bus. No.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Okay. The button that sets the name of the player that's playing the game.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Jim!
I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it.
I am Jim.
Here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Yes, I am Jim.
Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again. Jim.
Oh.
It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
No.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away.
No.
Otherwise, soon
No.
you'll start to lose all
No.
sense of who you actually
No.
are.
No, not the Jim button. Oh, I love the Jim button. It's very good. Can I open this door? I cannot. Alright, back downstairs. Let's see what else the Stanley Parable 2 has to offer. What's in here?
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That
I
would actually
guess.
save me the work of finishing this feature.
What's in here?
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Okay. No screenshots. What if I take a screenshot, though? A new office. Red. Retraced. More of the same, but in a good way. Oh. New features, new content, new ideas. I'm gonna take a screenshot. Just see if it does anything. No. The button says the name of the player. Jump circle and infinite hole. The bucket. Later. Bucket later. What's this? Ah, it's a map. Free trophy. Where? Where? Give it to me. I want it. Yes.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see, you all come to this lever, and when you pull it, the trophy will be given to you. It's
Okay.
as simple as that.
Okay.
Okay, perhaps I should have
No.
clarified.
Give it to me.
This is technology that will exist.
No.
Now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
No. I want the trophy. Damn it. No. What's this? Nothing. It just glows. Red. Of course. It's a new color. Right.
What else?
Collectibles.
What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Collectibles. Ooh.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them.
Really?
I don't want to stifle the
Damn it.
intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Let's get it. Can I grab it? Give it to me. Yeah, I got him. There's 5
God,
more.
it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Can I find the other ones? What's on you? Jump circle.
You know what? Let's bring the jump
Yes.
circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh,
Let
wait.
me.
You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
I knew I should have saved some jumps. I knew it. I knew it. The hole? What's in there? What's in here? 2.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But
Yeah.
I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday.
12th
Which would you
birthday.
go with?
The birthday. For sure. Can I... Hello? Oh, in here. That
You
one.
know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along.
Yeah.
Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
Door's open. Okay.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No.
No.
No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Let's find the hole. Depth. Infinite. Yeah. Ah, I see. It just keeps going.
Stanley, here's an idea that
It's
I'm
a
truly
hole.
fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Do it.
You see, isn't it
Mm-hmm.
wonderful?
It's great.
One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
What if I just wanna...
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe
But
do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
why? Is there a bottom to the hole?
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole.
Yeah?
Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay,
I made it.
good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley.
Did it.
I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever.
Haha.
I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling.
Maybe.
What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that
Fine.
works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
What if I don't, though? Maybe I like the hole. It's always a question of, but what if I don't do that, though? Fine.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Okay. Let's go back. Wait. Here's the stairs. I can't see it. It's so dark. Why'd you cover up the hole? There wasn't a roof on that before. That was great. Loved the hole. The mostly infinite hole. So very good. What's on the other side of this, though? Where do I get out? Ah, perfect. Wait. Merch? What you got? Can I talk about this at all? No? Okay. Bucket! Here I come.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket.
The
You see, Stanley,
bucket!
anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution.
I get the bucket. Bucket!
Can you feel it?
Yes.
The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body.
It's great.
And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more accepted as a person.
Thank you.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they?
Yes, it's very good.
All this and more awaits you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Don't take my bucket. The bucket. I'm leaving with the bucket. I'm out of here.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Have I done everything? Let me out. I want to steal the bucket and run away. What if I go fall down the hole with the bucket? I'm going back to the hole. You can't stop me.
Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh.
Oh?
Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time?
Yeah.
I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time
I
in
did.
here than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really... Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less
Yeah.
infinite.
Yeah.
I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The
Oh.
shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
It's not working.
Is the, teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again.
Don't
Still
work.
nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
I'm perfectly fine here. In the hole with my bucket. The hole is getting deeper again. Duh. Duh. With my bucket. Sick.
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley!
What?
Oh,
Aw.
you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley. Because this
Aw.
world is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the whole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them.
Okay.
Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
Oh, here it goes again. No? I made the noise. Is that the ending? Oh. We're back.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Okay. Is the gym button back? Is it gonna say bucket? I would like it to say bucket instead. Gym button? No gym button. It's gone. Epilogue? Oh, there's more up here. See. Where does this go? Wait, let me in. Let me in. There's something in here. Damn it. Just sneeze. Oh, there's stairs here. I didn't see those. Yeah. Do we just go here? Again? See what happens? Have the bucket? No.
All of his co-workers were gone, What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
It's the bucket. No, I guess not.
Oh, good.
Guess I
You
didn't do it
noticed my
right.
sign. Yes,
So going back.
I have something very exciting to show you.
Guess we didn't do it properly. So we're going back down.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
2. There. Let's just walk through this area.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Yeah.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them.
Bucket
Here we are.
first.
Go on, try out some of the new features.
Bucket first.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket.
I probably missed an area
Come on, give it a try.
around here. Give me the bucket.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
Oh, thank you.
I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Bucket. Let's go to the gym
Does
button.
anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Gym button.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and... Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim.
Oh.
But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
Jim.
Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim. All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now? Get out of here. I'm done with this button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I work very hard on? See, if you'd only played along, that would have been your name the button says. But no. Instead, oh, I can't even think about it. I'm taking the Jim button away.
No, the gym button. Oh, dang it. Alright, let's go find whatever I missed before.
Maybe I'll only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable too. They would appreciate what I've created here. You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well.
Oh, there?
Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the
Yeah, that's
first
the
time we
thing,
saw the jump
right?
circle. Oh, well. I suppose it can just be
Oh.
a nice decorative piece then.
So it does remember that I went here before. Cool. Good, good. What's this?
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean?
Oh,
But,
red.
all right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Let's go. Let's go.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but
Yeah.
I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together,
Okay.
and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game.
Yeah.
Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Oh. There we go. Begin game. Balloons.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Okay. Let's see. Let's go to the boss's office.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The
It's my
aura
bucket.
of jealousy, it's as clear
my
as day.
bucket.
This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket.
It's my
I
bucket.
can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in.
Never.
Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket?
It's my bucket.
I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends?
How dare you?
That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
That is. Okay, it's my bucket.
I've got you something which
Okay.
I think will help settle
Fine.
this debate once and for all. Here we go.
Yeah!
Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Suck it, broom closet. It's my bucket.
All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate.
Yeah.
I feel that it
Bucket.
works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way,
Yeah.
if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and
Good.
say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked
Right,
upstairs to the boss's office. You found one of them. One of the
Yeah.
miniature Stanley figurines.
Got
Remember,
'em.
no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Thank you. Good job. Do we want to go in there with the bucket? I do. I do want to go in here
Stanley just couldn't do it.
with the bucket.
He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He
It's the
looked
same.
down at the
No.
bucket in his eyes.
Bucket.
Am I crazy? He asked the bucket.
To be
The
honest, bucket.
returned his gaze, but said nothing at all.
Oh, bucket.
That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance.
Oh no.
And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's
no.
bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good will come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground.
Oh.
Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad.
Yeah.
Where is it? I must find it.
Bucket?
Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him. Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket. Could it truly be?
Bucket?
He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket. Come to me, Stanley. Find me. He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony.
Oh boy.
This is the story of a
Oh, it's her again. Is the bucket here? Bucket?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work.
She has a bucket.
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town,
was very
talking
good.
and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was.
He didn't have a bucket.
This man had no bucket. Of course, he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel would that be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Okay, now we end up ending with the bucket. Let's go for more with the bucket
Blew
endings.
outside and perhaps rain started.
Oh?
And if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Let's
Stanley clutched the bucket
go left door
to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Bottom text. We got two. To find more.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Yes.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands? Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Okay. Let's go to the office. 284.
Manager's office,
5.
Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along?
Yes.
Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
So dark in here. Oh, hello. It's another one.
I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Alright, okay. Elevator. Let's go. Bucket, are you ready?
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley.
No, that's cool.
Everything will be fine.
Then we'll look at the whiteboard the next time we go through there.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
I haven't done that yet, but maybe I should just do the normal, true ending with the bucket.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
I just wanted to see my office again.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His
Into the
own
bucket?
life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter, his one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would...
Off.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and to... What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No, no, no. Stanley
Bucket.
can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket.
That's all that
To be
matters.
trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Well, that was that.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Right. What if I get the bucket and jump out the window?
The confusion and the chaos
Bucket.
all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Out the window. Come on. There we go.
Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear. We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self. The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps, if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket!
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
Said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of... No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like...
Oh.
My God, Stanley,
Oh boy.
you did it.
I killed
You
the
saved us
bucket.
from the bucket.
Oh no.
God, you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
To my bucket. Phone?
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct?
Yes.
Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Where are my boxes? Give me the boxes. Oh, buckets. Good. Alright, let's make some wrong
Sped
choices.
through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his
No.
left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Ah.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to
Yes.
himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room. And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
The door's gonna close behind me though, isn't it? I want to go through the endings I did. Without the bucket. With the bucket.
Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I
Oh?
knew you'd find this place eventually.
What?
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much.
It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't
No.
even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content.
It's the best.
We're the ones that matter,
No.
Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like
No,
the
no.
Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Line again?
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well. Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue? Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
Don't do it.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket.
No.
That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
No.
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
Can I leave?
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
What if I don't?
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The Broom Closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it.
No.
We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
The Bucket Destroyer.
Bucket Destroyer. My prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Well, I'm gonna have to wrap it up there. I will definitely have to continue. Oh, there's
functioned well by himself. Constantly needed support and guidance from others. So the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
There's boxes everywhere. Anyway, I have to wrap it up. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, well, and I'll see you in the next one.